So let's see chapter 8, topic modes of reproduction used by single organisms. So before going into the main topic, let us have a quick relook. Reproduction. Reproduction is the biological process by which an organism reproduces an offspring who is biologically similar to that organism. The importance of reproduction. Reproduction enables and ensures the continuity of species generation after generation. It is one of the main features of life on Earth. Reason for different modes of reproduction. The modes by which various organisms reproduce depend on the body designs of the organisms. So today we will be studying here about the different modes of reproduction used by single organisms. Okay, so reproduction are of two types. First one is asexual reproduction and the other one is sexual reproduction. So today we will be studying in detail about asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction we will discuss in some other classes. So let us see today now in detail about this asexual reproduction. This is sexual reproduction. Characteristics. So there will be involvement of only a single parent, and this reproduction process takes a very short period of time, and organisms, they can multiply and grow rapidly. And this type of asexual reproduction can be seen both in unicellular and multicellular organisms, and the offsprings are genetically similar. So these are some of the characteristics of asexual reproduction. Now let's see types of asexual reproduction. First one is fission, number 1. Number 2, fragmentation. Number 3, generation. Number 4, budding. Number 5, vegetative propagation. Number 6, spore formation, or we also call sporogenesis. So these are the different types of asexual reproduction. So let's see now the first type of asexual reproduction, that is fission. So the term fission refers to divide. So during fission, a parent cell divides into 2 or more daughter cells to reproduce new individuals. This mode of reproduction can be observed both in unicellular and multicellular organisms. So fission means to divide. So during this process of fission, a parent cell will divide into 2 or more daughter cells and produce new organisms. So we can see this type of mode of reproduction both in unicellular and multicellular organisms. Now there are two types of fission. They are binary fission and multiple fission. Binary fission means a parent cell divides into 2 daughter cells and reproduce new individuals. Example, amoeba, leishmania, etc., as you will find in the diagram in the multiple fission. In multiple fission, we can find a parent cell divides itself into many daughter cells. Example, plasmodium, as you can see in the picture. Okay, let's see now here in the diagram. Amoeba, a parent amoeba divides into 2 here. So this is the second step. From here, finally totally divided into 2 daughter amoeba. So this is binary fission. Then again we have here leishmania, as you can see here. So this is also being divided here slowly. So here single nucleus was there. Now here started to divide into 2 nuclei, then finally separated here. So that is about leishmania. Then again let us see here plasmodium, as you can see here, plasmodium. So here single nucleus, then again many daughter nuclei. Okay, so like this, so many cells, so many nuclei, then finally this will burst and this will finally form into many daughter cells, and finally it will multiply. So like this we have in the diagram. Let's see a fragmentation. This is another mode of asexual reproduction exhibited by some simple organisms like Spirogyra. In this case, the parent body divides into several fragments and each fragment develops into a new organism, as we can see in the diagram. This is the diagram of Spirogyra, and this is the parent body. Now from this parent body, three fragments, fragment 1, fragment 2 and fragment 3 are broken, and these three are finally grow and develop into mature 3 Spirogyra organisms. So in this way, in fragment you can find some organisms. They will be divided into fragments, and from those fragments the matured organisms will be finally grown. Okay, let's see now regeneration. In this mode of reproduction, new organisms are grown from the body parts of fully differentiated organisms. An individual's body can be cut into a number of pieces, and each piece grows into a complete organism. This process is carried out by specialized cells, and this mode of reproduction we can find in planaria, as shown in the here. This is the diagram for planaria, how it regenerates to produce new ones. So this is the parent planaria, and this is divided into 3 pieces now, and these 3 pieces are growing and finally they become mature. So in this way, this regeneration, vegetative propagation, this is another mode of asexual reproduction exhibited by plants. Here the plants can reproduce through their vegetative parts such as leaves, roots, stems and buds, etc. Example: potato, onion bulb, banana, orange, rose, etc. So these are some of the plants which can reproduce their new ones by this process called vegetative propagation, as you can see in the diagram related with vegetative propagation. Here first one is potato, and you can see here buds are being developed in the potato, and this, if we grow, then this will reproduce new ones. Then in the second case, this is about the rose. Here a rose branch can be cut out of the plant, and that branch can be further grown to produce new ones. Then in the case of bryophyllum, here from the leaves new plants are being developed, and when these leaves fall into the ground, into the soil, then these new plants will further grow to develop into mature plants. Okay, let us see here again another mode of asexual reproduction, spore formation. In this mode of asexual reproduction, the organisms develop sac-like structures called sporangia, which contain spores during unfavorable conditions. When the conditions are favorable, the sporangia burst and spores are released that germinate to give rise to new organisms. So we can see this type of asexual reproduction in here in the diagram, how rhizophus forms spores and finally new ones are reproduced. Okay, now let us see budding, another mode of asexual reproduction. So budding is the process of producing an individual through the buds that develop on the parent body. The buds derive nutrition and shelter from the parent's organism and detaches once they are fully grown. Example: hydra, yeast. So you can see here in the parent's body the buds will be developed, and these buds will depend their nutrition and shelter to the parents, and when they are fully grown they will detach and they will develop into mature organisms. So in this way this mode of reproduction works. So you can find this type of reproduction in organisms like hydra, yeast, etc., as you can see in the diagram for hydra. So how a parent hydra reproduces the new one. So see in the first picture you can see here a small bud is being developed here, and this small bud grows further in the second picture, then again it further grows, then finally it detaches from the parent organism. So this is how in hydra by budding process new organisms are being reproduced. Here advantages of asexual reproduction. Point 1. Only single individual is required to reproduce new ones. Second point, the process of reproduction is rapid. So within short time many organisms can be produced. So point number 3, a big number of organisms can be produced in a very short span of time. Last point, this mode of reproduction can be carried out in various environmental conditions. So these are some of the advantages of asexual reproduction. Disadvantages of asexual reproduction. 1. Since the offsprings are genetically identical to the parent, they are most susceptible to the same diseases. Second point, the diversity among the organisms is limited. Third point, those organisms reproduced by this mode of reproduction are unable to adapt to the changing environment. Fourth point, a simple change in the environment would eliminate the entire reproduction we will be studying in our next class.